Okay, we're here at the furnace for a follow-up. As you can see, it's bone dry, no moisture. I'm not going to take the bottom panel off because there's no reason for that. But let's see what's that. Oh, a little bit of moisture, but I don't know if that's residual or what. But down here you can see there's nothing dripping, so that might just be normal. Now the other question I have is, since they had this furnace installed, you know, like 16 years ago, a few years ago, 10, 11 years ago, the foundation started cracking, breaking off on the outside, and they've had masons over and this and that to look at what's causing it. Also, the siding, the water was weeping out of the weep holes on the siding, you know, and that started like 3 years ago. They'd be getting big icicles coming down from the siding of their house, which had never happened before. The insulation in the attic, which the attic is all baffled, has ridge vent, everything was just, the paper was just soaking wet on there. I'm thinking all of that had to do with this right here, because you figure the amount of water that was getting pumped through here, I mean, that's gallons of water. And this old foundation, I mean, this house was built in 1919, never had a problem up until just about 10 years ago. And I'm thinking it might have taken that long to saturate everything to the point of, you know, in the winter time when it freezes, the foundation outside, you know, the moisture in here is freezing. I'll go outside and show you what I'm talking about in a minute. The other thing is, in the basement here, see, they even tried putting a thing of salt down here because in the fall, the moisture down here was like 95%. So they put a thing of rock salt. You know, we built a little two-tier system to try to dry the basement up. Then I got him one of these thermometers with a humidistat or whatever you call it on there. The top one is the humidity. When we first hooked that up in the fall, the humidity level at one point reached 100%. And just since doing that furnace there a few days ago, it's dropped down. I mean, it's been staying about 55%, and it's dropped that far just in a couple days, which is good. But I mean, the mold, see the mold coming in through here. They thought that might be a sewer line, so they hired a company. They installed a brand new sewer line, new 3/4 inch water main coming into the house, and then had a guy come over and water lock the entire basement, and that mold just kept coming back. So I can't help but thinking that furnace was the whole cause of it. We'll go outside and take a look at the outside of the foundation so you know what I'm talking about. But hopefully that's the problem. I'm pretty sure it is, because like I say, for years, when they first bought this house, they had a coal burner in here. Took that out, had a big old forced air furnace put in. Then 16 years ago, they took that out and had this high efficiency model put in. And like I say, because of that, just that simple little plumbing screw up there, I think that's what's caused all these problems in our house. But alright, I'll turn on when we get outside. Alright, before I go outside, I want to look at the humidifier too. It's an April Air 550. Now I was reading online here where you want it turned off in the winter, or on in the winter. You want this vent open in the winter and off in the summer. So let's see how the humidifier's been working. So we can go from there. I guess my I suppose I should have brought my tripod over. Okay, here's the humidifier. The media is all full of calcium in here. That needs to be changed. I don't see any water at all in this thing. The vent is closed. So obviously this humidifier has not been working at all. Oh, there is a little bit of water. It's coming down through there. So let's open this vent. Alright, so that's open. So now that should be drawing warm air into the humidifier and adding some humidity to the air. Wow. I can't believe this thing was shut right off. Gonna have to go into that next video. Alright, I'm gonna put it back together. We'll go out, look at the outside. I'll tell you what I'm talking about there. Okay, so when I was talking about the foundation, see, take a look at this. See how that's happening? How it's cracking away? I mean, just terribly. And like I say, this house is 1919. This never started happening until just a few years ago. So what I think is going on was the humidity from that leaking furnace got so high that it saturated this concrete. And then when we get to the sub-zero weather, or just below freezing, whatever, and it freezes that humidity inside this concrete and just busts these out. This side of the house here is the non-weather side. It never gets rained on, well, very, very seldom, or snowed on, or anything. Then the other thing that was happening, which it's not happening now, well, no, but on the siding, the weep holes, wherever they may be, I probably can't find one now that I want them. Alright, well, for instance, this weep hole right here, and there's several of them, you know, as you look through the siding. These were all, especially last year, getting icicles. I mean, coming all the way down the siding from these weep holes. And I can only attribute that to, once again, that furnace. So, as you can see, it took a perfectly sound house and has turned it into a fallen junker, basically. Like I say, we had people come over, you know, masonry guys come over to look at the foundation and see what's going on, and nobody could figure out the problem. This is a newer edition. This edition here was put on the house in the 60s, so it's regular block. But the most common response from these masonry guys was, well, it's just a bad quality concrete, you know, and which, you know, we bought for a long time until we came around to this. Now this here, she had a guy come over and paint the entire foundation, supposedly moisture lock it, and last year it was the worst year ever. Of course, last year I think that furnace was leaking worse than ever because we had, I mean, weeks of sub-zero weather. But the foundation just fell apart. So what I did this summer, me and my youngest boy, we came over with an air chisel and grinder, and we ground down as much of the old concrete as we could, and we put concrete paint on there, mixed up you know what I'm talking about, mixed up cement there, and applied it over there. But you can see how the salt and stuff is weeping out. Now here's an area that's busting out here, but this area is where the old where the paint and stuff was that wouldn't grind off this spring or this past summer. So in the spring I'm gonna have to come through, grind it up. This whole corner was gone. I mean, I took 3 bags of Saccrete concrete and filled in the blocks inside there. But as you can see, it's cracking again. It's cracking here. It's cracking all over. I mean, where the original stuff was. Where it was totally gone and we ground it down and air chiseled it out, it seems to be holding pretty good. But I think that with this moisture problem taken care of, that'll be taken care of. So, all right, well, I'll have an update some other time. So that's it. See ya. Oh yeah, fix it yourself, dummy.